Hi, it's Jnwynn with Scraptastic Yarns Podcast. Today is Sunday, the 14th of April, and I thought I'd come on and talk with you for a few minutes, and then I'll get on my merry way. It is Sunday. I did get up late, so I missed church. I could go for just church services, but decided I'm just not going to today. I told you I was going to tell you why I didn't film Friday. And part of that was a conversation with a friend who, about a year and a half ago, I had received a call on my phone, on my cell phone, that looked like it was from my daughter Jessica, who had passed away. She's now 9+ years ago. And, it's one of those things you're like, do I answer or not? Because you hear those stories of people calling from beyond. And I thought, no, I'm going to answer it. I think this would be about the time that the police would be turning over the phone to be, used for the program they have with the women at risk through CASA. And it was the director. She was calling me, and she had said, I know it's probably a shock. I didn't, mean to shock you, but there are some pictures on the phone, and I don't think you have the pictures. When we take these phones, strip them, to wipe them, to reuse, if there are pictures, we try to contact the family if we know who they are. And she said, because I knew you and I knew Jessica growing up, those kind of things, I figured you might want pictures of the grandchildren that are on there. Even though they're about 8.5 years old, I said, of course, I would love the pictures. And she was telling me that they have a fellow who will take those pictures, load them onto a thumb drive. Then she takes them back to the office and makes a CD disc of the pictures along with the thumb drive, and then mails those both to you. And she had done that. But right after that, I'd gotten a call from a friend that we talk every couple of months that I had gone to nursing school with. And I was telling her about that, the phone call, how it kind of startled me. And apparently she was having a bad day that day, and she didn't want to talk about anything other than that. She wanted to talk about her. And she had made a real snippy comment about, well, Jessica's been dead about 8.5 years. I don't know why you just can't get over it. So I had ended that call with this statement to her. I pray you never have to experience that kind of loss and have to just get over it. I still love you, but I can't continue with this conversation today. I'll call you back later. And hung up. Well, she had called me yesterday, or Friday afternoon. She was having a real low day, and I can understand why, because I have those days. About a year ago, her son, who was a contractor, was going into Home Depot to pick up supplies. He had a contracting business, and there were two rival drug cartel members where he was at picking up those things. They saw each other, and when he was walking out of the Home Depot, they began shooting at one another, and he got caught in the crossfire and died. She was talking with me, and she said to me, she apologized for what she had said that day. She goes, now I understand what you mean. You never get over it. So, we had a good long talk, and off we went. And we talked for about 2.5 hours, and then we hung up, and by that time, it was about dinner time. My husband had asked, what we're going to do for dinner. And I'd said to him, well, there's some deli meat in there that we need to use up before it goes bad. So we're just going to have sandwiches, which is fine with my husband. He doesn't care. Of course, his favorite meal is sausage and eggs for dinner. But we'd had that the night before. So I'm getting my sandwich ready. The phone rings, and it's a son of a friend of mine. And we had had this discussion about a year earlier. I had a discussion with him about the problems that I was seeing with his mom. Now, they have progressively gotten worse. He had called to tell me, he said, Jane, I don't know what to do. I want her to be able to live at home on her own. She's a very stubborn woman. Yes, I know that. I'm friends with her. And he said, she came to me this afternoon and said that her license had expired. He said he looked at it and it had expired last year. So, he said to her, well, we've got to get this fixed. We'll take care of it. Let's take a ride. They went down, they got it fixed, got her license all back in order. He said, she has had, and I didn't know about this one. He said she's had the cable turned off twice. I said, yeah, I know, because she forgot to pay the bill. She's had the electricity turned off once because she forgot to pay the bill. She's had her house insurance and her car insurance canceled once because she forgot to pay the bill. The water has been cut off twice. And this is the one I didn't know about. When it was the coldest here, her gas had been turned off because she'd failed to pay the bill. And he said, I don't know what to do with her, because when these things happen, I ask her, well, did you pay the bill? And she would say, yes, I paid the bill. And I had told him last year, about this time, that he might need to start stopping by once a week and say, let's go over these bills, let me see your bills for the month, and let's make sure they get squared away and whatnot. And he said, well, I don't think she's that bad at that point. And I'm like, okay, I've done what I can so far with this. And, because he is her only child, and he will be responsible in the end. I told him, okay, well, you know where to get me. You know how to get a hold of me and whatnot. He proceeded to tell me at that point, Angela wondered if the car insurance was current. Angela called her insurance company and found out that no, it had expired last August. She has been driving around without a license and without car insurance. And, because she's going to get around to getting it back on. She has told us that the cable company changed her home phone number and her cell phone number, that they did it. She didn't do it. And her son had told me no. She wanted to change. We went down. She had both of those changed. She did it. And I said to him, well, there have been some things that I guess it's not an uncle. Her cousin has a barbershop right, like 2 doors down from where she lives. And he had noticed some things that have been going on, and he was like, I don't know what to do. I tell Kenny about it, but he ignores it. And Kenny said, yeah. He said, I started thinking about those things, and I don't know what to do. And I had said to him, you're going to have to pull up your britches, be a man about it, go over and say, this is what's going to happen, Mom, this is what we're going to do. Or you can call social services, have them do a wellness check on her, one in which they take her to the doctor to be examine, because there is a history of Alzheimer's in her family, and she knows that, but she wants to avoid it because she was not on good terms with her father. Her father, all his years, was abusive to her, and he always told her that she was his mistake. She was a mistake. And, you spend a lifetime with that kind of thing, and it gets in your head, you know. And of course, with all the issues with the Alzheimer's and whatnot, because she's early onset, I said, you really need to get to the physician's office and discuss this with the physician, because we're seeing it, you're seeing it, these things have happened. They may or may not take her driver's license away from her. I mean, you don't know. I said, but there are medications that can stall the Alzheimer's progression, but she has to take those medications. And I said to him, do you know if she is taking her daily medications or not? It may be a combination of things. He said, I have no clue. I said, well, you might want to consider calling the Office of the Aging and having a social worker look into it. He said, but she won't answer the door. I said, yeah, but they will get the police and they will kick the door down, or you can make arrangements to go and meet the social worker there, since you have a key, so that you can take them in. I said, the problem with Alzheimer's is that because he had suggested maybe we should get together and tell her that we're concerned, and come together. I said, yeah, but she's going to think we're ganging up on her. I said, you have to understand with Alzheimer's, you just can't do an intervention. It just doesn't work with a person that is going through that. I said, I'd hate to see her have to be put into a facility, because she would not do well in a facility. She would be the one trying to escape all the time, or calling him to say, come get me. So, he's in a bit of a dilemma. I have talked with him about some options. I said, think it over. I said, because your mother driving without a license, without car insurance, if she had been hit or she had injured someone, it could have been very severe. And I had said to him, what made her look at her license that day? Did she get a ticket? Did she get stopped? You might want to kind of see what's going on there. It could have been that she went to go get something and had to pay for something, and they asked for a photo ID. But, the person said to her, your license has expired. Maybe something simple like that. But you need to find out what it is that's going on. So, I had a full day of talking some things through with people. And I don't know if I've told you this or not, but I'm not a real big phone person. I don't really care about talking on the phone much. It's never been my thing, but I will talk on the phone. I can talk for hours. But, yeah. So it was kind of a down day that day. And I just never got anything rendered and put up. But I will do that later this week, because Tuesday we are taking a trip to Altoona to go to our local Hobby Lobby. And then Wednesday, I'm going gambling. So I will put up the video that I was going to put up that afternoon for Wednesday. And it's the dance. Gonna get to see Jane try her hips at floss. No, I didn't get an injury, but it could have been ugly. But yeah, those are some things that come up in life. When you see a friend going through something like that, you're not real sure what to do. Sometimes it's the time to get the social worker, doctor involved. Her doctor recently retired, so she's got a new doctor or PA that is seeing her, and he's not familiar with her. So, you know, and I told him, I said, maybe we just need to make arrangements for a doctor to see her, and we all go for the visit. It's as simple as that. So, yeah, that kind of happened, and that kind of put things into a little bit of perspective. I watched Mary's Chit Chat Crochet video today, and she's doing a thing with the word of the day. The other day it was a poke, and my husband and I were like, well, it's either a bag or it's ice cream, you know. And I said to him, I said, well, it could be there's this new thing that's going on with, I say it's raw seafood, but it's seafood that has been chemically cooked with lemon. And it's a salad, that's really big, that's done in Hawaii. And it's big in some of the Mexican um, beach towns, those kind of things. And I thought, well, I've heard rumors that it's become a new thing in Ireland. So maybe it was that because it's called a poke. So I got to laughing and thinking about this. Mary, when I first moved here, there were two sayings that drove me nuts because I had no clue what they meant. Now, the first one I could kind of guess what it meant, and it is what it means. And it is daresn't. I daresn't take that. Daresn't? Is that even a word? So it took me a while to get used to hearing people say that. The other one was we were going to do something, but we weren't real sure if we could because of something that was coming up. And someone said, well, leave me know. What? Leave me know. What the heck does that mean? Leave me know. And finally I figured out that it's, let me know. But it's very colloquial, ancient. So, words change over time. So it's kind of interesting, to hear some of those words that Mary's putting out there. And if you haven't gone to Mary's channel and seen those, you need to, because it's a lot of fun guessing what they mean. All right, folks, that's it for today. It's, just a little explanation of why things didn't happen Friday, didn't get put up. And today is Sunday, so I'm going to sit around here and do a little crochet. Then I'm going to work a little bit more in the other area with some of the yarns that I need to get inventoried. I didn't get them done Friday afternoon because of the phone calls. So I'm going to do that this afternoon. And hopefully my husband will stay out of the bedroom for a little while this afternoon so I can get part of my flasher stash filmed. And then I can finish it up, later tomorrow afternoon for the yarn that is downstairs. So, yeah, that's it. I will see you again tomorrow. Remember, choose kindness.